4, 3, 2.
Man, that chicken wing looks good. I haven't had anything to eat all day.
Delicious.
Xela. Yep.
4, 3, 2.
It doesn't matter. Xela.
It's not.
It's literally just my name backwards. That's all it is. Or you could just call me that, Alex. Yeah, you could call me that.
We'd call you. Well, if it's Alex backwards, it should be like Xela.
Or as Mr. Dalek JD would say, Xela.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I am muted. Oh, that was such a good intro. I was muted. That was such a good intro. Dang it.
Oh, I could have sworn I heard your voice on the stream.
Yeah, no, my apologies. So that was like one of the best intros I've done in a long time. Mute it, because whenever I record things, I always try and get my obnoxious mic out when I was getting the beautiful gameplay next to us. So to reiterate, welcome to another wonderful week of Zombroz Action. Thank you for letting me know it was muted in the chat below. We are in a time where custom zombies is booming, and we have the creator of one of the most critically acclaimed custom zombie maps of recent on Black Ops 3. Alex is here. See, I can do that. That's easy. To talk about the entire process and talk about the map of Return to Bus Depot. We're also going to be covering the topics of some 9 Easter eggs being found and the Apothicon language being deciphered in its entirety today. So there is a lot of really cool stuff going on in the community. As I was saying, it's that time of the year. Zombies is starting to tune up again. Right around the corner is Treyarch's announcement in April, May, and then BO3 or whatever the next iteration of Zombies will be coming out in October, November. It's starting all over again, and I think we've needed a nice break from zombies with Modern Warfare. I think that's been terrific, as now the custom zombie map community has had a chance to flourish. And of course, I'm joined by Giant J25, in case anybody's curious. My wonderful co-host in all the world.
How's it going, everybody? I thought I was going to just be completely forgotten. Maybe I was kicked off the show.
Not at all, not at all. So, here we are. Let's talk about Return to Bus Depot. Maybe John and I should give our first impressions with the creator
yeah.
before we
I want to hear what you guys have to say. Yeah.
All right.
Can I go first?
Absolutely, you can go first.
So I sat down to play it on Saturday or Friday. This map has been on my radar for a while.
Sure
like
has.
I've seen a bunch of people play it. I've wanted to talk about it on the show for a while, and we just haven't gotten around to it. So I sent Reed like a list of like custom maps to potentially talk about, and he was like, "Let's do Bus Depot," and I was like, "Perfect, that's what I wanted to do anyway."
Got him.
I wanted to give you options.
Fooled him.
No, so I sat down to play it. And I already knew what I was getting into. Like, I knew the map looked amazing, and I was really impressed. But what I found interesting was as I was playing it, my roommate popped in just to, like, chat with me. And he was watching me play. He's like, "You playing Black Ops 2?" And he's like, "Or is this, like, a remaster or something?" And I'm like, "No, this is just a custom map." And he thought that I was playing, like, an actual Treyarch map. Because, like, he recognized Bus Depot. He's like, "I know this place, but it looks, like, so good." So, like... I think that's probably like the best compliment you could probably get for how good a map looks. And I'm not just saying this to like flatter you and toot your horn, but like my roommate was really impressed by how good the map looked, and he thought it was something that Treyarch had actually created. So I mean, the map is about as good of a reimagining as you can get of a map, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it only took me like a month to make. I was really surprised from the reception of it. I mean, it wasn't easy to make, but it didn't take too long.
Well, it was still awesome though, because like
it's an idea I had that I wanted to do for a while, so I was just like, screw it, I don't have anything to do right now.
It got me thinking a lot about like Bus Depot and Black Ops 2. Like originally, I kind of like the idea of Bus Depot and Black Ops 2, where it's a little bit like Knocked. It's a map that has a little bit of a challenge to it, and it kind of exists in that own sphere.
Yeah.
But it was also the Black Ops 2 map that I played the least, because I'm like, there's nothing here. There's no perks. There's no pack-a-punch. There's no really like easy way to survive. And to me, it was like if somebody took what made Town great, which was just a small little survival map with a few perks and a pack-a-punch and just have at it. That's what Return to Bus Depot felt like. It was like what Bus Depot should have been, like another version of Town in Black Ops 2.
Yeah, so I mean, I did with Bus Depot what I did with Town Reimagined, you know, just basically just...
I didn't even know you were the same creator of Town Reimagined. That makes plenty of sense. Yep.
Come on, Reed, way to do your research.
That took way longer to make.
Really? Why is that?
Because that's when I like kind of like first started.
Gotcha.
I didn't really know what I was doing. Like, so this, like, I don't know if anyone really noticed in Town, but the scaling's way off. And there are some things that are like missing from the original map that should be there, but you know, I was a noob.
Well,
Gotta start somewhere.
One of the things I wanted to ask you about when you're designing a map like Bus Depot and you're taking something that's already been done and bringing it back, how do you go about, like, in terms of assets and rebuilding this area? Like, are you able to take models from Black Ops 2 and bring them in and update textures, or do you have to start from scratch? Because when I look at it, I see little bits of what I think are Shadows of Evil just repurposed into the scene of Bus Depot. How do you go about doing something like that?
Okay, so I'll just go into the entire process of how Bus Depot went. So I mean, it's a lot more work than anyone would suspect, like remastering a map. So, and it also all depends if you want to make it a one-to-one remaster of the map or if you want to reimagine it and expand on it. So, you know, first things first, with every remaster, you got to rip the geo of the original map and then basically create new geo over the old geo. So think of it as like tracing when you're drawing, pretty much. Except it's more of an inconvenience than it is convenient, because you're sitting there trying to get the scaling perfect, so certain areas of the map don't feel too big or too small to the original. And it was the biggest pain in the ass to me. I absolutely hated doing it with Bus Depot because I just wanted to remake that part of Transit, you know, just that single part. And the only way I could do it is if I had the geo in the map and if I had the entirety of Transit in my map. All the geo from the old map.
And the geo I had to deal with the geometry, right?
Yeah, basically what the level designers build, like the block out pretty much of the map. So that was fun. But as for like assets and models and materials and all that, that is the thing I probably spent the most time doing on the map than actually making the map, because I didn't want to just rip it from Black Ops 2, you know, because that would have been really easy. Yeah. I ripped all my assets from BO3 and BO4 from Alpha Omega. Alpha Omega had a ton of assets that I needed for this map, like Ted, the car models, all that.
Wait, so how are you able to get Alpha Omega into into Black Ops 3? Are they pretty easy to like convert?
Yeah, this guy named Skabalula, it's his name. He makes this tool for us so where we can extract like images, models, materials, any type of asset we need from the supported games he has. So it's pretty much any COD. Like, I'm pretty sure, it supports Modern Warfare now. So BO4, Modern Warfare, BO3, all the old games. We could rip anything from any game.
Gotcha.
That's pretty cool. Like, I always imagined you can go backwards in time, but I didn't think you can go forwards in time. It's like the thought that you can take Black Ops 4 and put it into Black Ops 3 is actually really interesting. I never even considered that.
Yeah, and the thing that sucks about Black Ops 4 when you're trying to rip assets is because all the assets, all the names of the assets are hashed. So like when you're looking for assets, they all have the same name with like a different they all have the same prefix with a different number at the end. So it's like X model underscore 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. It's a mess. Yeah,
it's on purpose. I remember we've even talked about that to try and deter data miners and stuff like that, but clearly, no.
It didn't work.
Absolutely
Waste
not.
of time.
Well, I want to comment about my thoughts on the map too, and the fact that was something that stood out for me immediately when playing this map, that the models themselves were definitely upgrade it. World at War has done this before too, where we've seen games in the future taking their guns, like John, to your point, like Modern Warfare guns have been taken, Modern Warfare 2 guns, Black Ops 3 guns, and re-put back into Call of Duty World at War maps. I noticed how high quality the textures were. The gameplay, I recorded it, I made a little mistake, so on stream you guys won't see the highest quality gameplay. It's a little pixelated at times. It's not how the map runs. It is beautiful on the Black Ops 3 engine, especially if you have a good graphics card and you can support it. Immediately when I started hearing the Avogadro and all the Alpha Omega assets, it was driving me nuts. I was like, what is this from? I recognize this. I recognize the announcer. What I couldn't pinpoint the feeling and what map it was being ripped from until I actually had voices turned down and a couple other sound effects turned down initially on the map. Once I loaded all them on and I heard the Avogadro actually talk, I was like, oh my gosh. And then I kept thinking, like, when was this released? How recently was this released? This is amazing that you were able to rip Alpha Omega, which is, I guess we're coming near in a year, right? That came out in the summertime.
Oh yeah. No, we're not close to a year. We're
like July.
July,
yeah,
right?
July. So let's call it mid-July. We'll go August,
6 months,
September, October, November, December,
8 months.
January, February. 7 months.
7 months.
Yeah.
So it's still right in the rear view mirror. Super impressive to see that turn around into a custom zombie map on my end. And then just to see the map, I immediately picked up, though I'm not going to pretend like I could solve the Easter egg without guides. I was so dead last night. I was like, just show me how to do this. I just want to play and showcase the map. I don't want to think too hard. But everything was very logical. I never felt like anything inside the map, whether it was acquiring gameplay or killing the Avogadro or getting Jug or solving the little Easter eggs you put in here, and I wonder if there's more. I want to double check with that, but I was with John last night too. I'm just like, did we do them all? I want to make sure I did them all so we could talk on the show. Everything followed a logic that was really refreshing to play through. I'm tired of such convoluted Easter eggs. I get the worst thing was trying to find, like, shoot up a pole to see where the Wonder Waffle is. But besides,
well, you mentioned that. Can I share a thought I had?
Yeah, sure.
Don't take this like criticism to like harshly, Alex, but I want to make it
be as harsh as you can.
All right. Well, here's my thought. So I pretty much got up when I was doing the Easter egg without looking up guides. I got up into the Wonder Waff, and I just couldn't. Yeah, honestly, if I didn't look up a guide, I don't think I would have ever found the Wonder Waff sitting on top of that pole. But what I was trying to do for the longest time, because I had recognized, I'm like, okay, these are these generators here. Maybe I need to get them fired up. So what I would do is I just waited till I had a crawler and an Avogadro.
Yeah, yep.
Tried to see if I could get the Avogadro and fire at the pole.
Good idea.
Yep, I did the same thing.
Get that going. And I was doing that. I did that for like 5-10 minutes, just trying to like line it up. I'm like, okay, maybe the shot just missed. And because I couldn't figure out what to do next. And then I look up a guide and I'm like, oh, there's a Wonder Waff sitting on top of the pole that I had never even looked up. And then I found out, oh, you're going to do the same exact thing I had the idea with the Wonder Waff, is like get some electricity flowing through it. So it was like, I don't know if that's even possible or what it would take to write a script such that you can get the Avogadro to shoot the
we could have done that.
Yeah.
God, now that you say that, I wish I would have done that, because the Avogadro was like a last minute decision. Like I was ready to release the map, but then some guy hits me up saying, "Hey, I recently just ported the Avogadro. Do you want it?" I was like, "Fuck yeah!" That's like,
that's
sure.
awesome. Oh.
Yeah, so he was a last minute decision, and
see,
I will say that I liked having the Wonder Waff in the map anyway.
Oh
and
yes.
I was like, oh sweet, I got a Wonder Waff.
What I originally wanted to do, instead of having the Wonder Waff, I wanted to use the Galva Knuckles. I thought that would have been
that was also my thought too. I was looking around the map. I'm like, maybe I need some Galva Knuckles to like knife them with Galva Knuckles to get a little spark going. Like for whatever reason, I'm like, these generators probably turn on somehow. I couldn't figure out what the next step was. I never looked up the pole, so I didn't even realize the Wonder Waff was there for the longest time.
Well, speaking of that, I was reading through the Steam page comments to see if anybody had any tips for the Easter egg steps. Wow.
Everyone thinks it's bugged.
Yep, people can't read. It's
just
ridiculous.
Like, Jesus, man.
And there was one irate gamer with, not stereotyping here, but they did have a My Little Pony avatar, and they were all caps raging. How dare you put Mule Kick in Wonder Fizz? I couldn't believe when I'm going through all these comments and review of the map. It has to be in the map according to this individual, and they were irate. 3 different comments they left, being so pissed off about what a bad map this was because Mule Kick was in the Wonder
Really?
Phase.
I haven't seen that. I mean,
Don't
I don't
read
really
it.
look
It's
at
a
the
garbage
comments that
comment.
much.
I was blown away as I'm listening. I'm like, oh my god, is this what they're subject to when you create a map? You put in a month's worth of work or more, and then someone's gonna be bitching about Mule Kick being in Wonder Fizz. Is this what we sound like to Treyarch when they make a real map? Because I think it is.
That's why I didn't want to be too harsh when I was like, "Oh, you should have made the Avogadro do this." Because like,
who knows?
No, that's a really good idea. I really wish.
My thing though is, one, I don't know what goes into actually making a map. So like, if it just can't be done and it's a very obvious thing, like, how do I know that? But
that probably would have been.
I don't want to be
easy to do.
But also, I know though that other people are out there nitpicking, like, why the hell is Mule Kick in like the Wonder Fizz?
Exactly.
So I don't want to tack on to that array of voices with something else.
You know, it's Bus Depot. You know, like there's like how many perks are in the game, and how many would you be able to fit into that map without a Wonder Fizz? You know, like I tried to pick everyone's favorite perks and put them in their place, and put the rest of them in the Wonder Fizz. You know,
my rule of thumb with perks is I feel like get your standard 4, and then everything else can either be on the map or go in the Wonder Fizz. I don't care. Well, like so long as the standard ones are there, that's all I ask.
One guy though made a really good point though in the comments saying that like stamina up shouldn't have been a main perk on the map because the map's so small.
But transit,
and
it's original to transit. That's what my interpretation was.
Yeah, but I only made Bus Depot, so like you can only run like I don't even know how far, like not far at all in the map.
Sure.
Yeah, so I don't know. I really wish I would have put another perk there, maybe like Widow's Wine or Mule Kick.
You would have made one person happy. Yeah, I mean that's the type of stuff I don't think you should get to.
I can't do anything with the map now, though.
Oh yeah, because once you finalize it, you're good, and you don't even want to go back into it. Just too big a pain in the ass, or do you not have the file anymore? Because I've heard that happen.
I don't have any of it anymore. It's all gone.
Yep, that's pretty typical. So I at least from my understanding of the process, that once people get these maps, more than likely they just end up dumping the whole thing because it's just so many files, so many assets, so much data is being saved on your computer, and it's exhausting. So that is fascinating that keeps up. Color correction on the map, I do want to comment as well, is excellent. I think the design of it is wondrous, and you got me when you end up doing the fuses and you get into the teleporter and you teleport to the different sections of the map. You had me losing it whether there was more Easter eggs, especially where you had like the insta-kill skull inside one of the windows, and PhD is available, and you're only in there for like as long as you're in a room in Kino der Toten. My gosh, was I like, is there more? How much am I expecting?
Everyone thinks that room's Kino.
I thought that too for a moment. I looked around. I'm like,
I didn't think it was Kino. I just saw the parallel of like the time to Kino. I did.
It's inspired by Kino.
Okay,
yes.
sure.
It was a part. It was a part of my original map that I'm working on right now.
Oh,
North Wales Sanatorium. That's a full-fledged project that I'm fully focused on at the moment.
Oh, that's exciting.
That was a scrapped version of the starting room that I had before. So
gotcha.
I knew I was going to scrap it, so I was like,
I'll
just put it in Bus Depot.
Yeah, honestly, I loved it.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we could teleport to Pack-a-Punch to get Town when you were reusing your assets again that you already did work, like you said, on making Town Remastered. So that was awesome, where I kept seeing all these different processes to make Bus Depot bigger and bigger. And it was great.
That was such a surprise when I jumped in the teleport and I landed at Town.
Oh,
I didn't know where it would take me, but honestly, I didn't expect Town. And then when I got there, I was like, great idea.
Yeah, I was like, obviously, this is where Pack-a-Punch is.
I was dreading just dragging the entirety of Town into that map because it was going to take so long for it to just load in as soon as I dropped it in the map. But I did it anyways because, it was such a good idea.
I agree.
Like, I had to do it. I originally was gonna remake the Pack-a-Punch area from Transit, the underground section with like the ambient lighting and all that. I was gonna do that, but I was like, Nah, I gotta do 10.
I know clipped around a bit. I looked around and saw some of the stuff that was fleshed or not fleshed out, and it looked like to me, it looked like, oh, it could have, because it was all laid out and you had stuff ready to go for down in the basement and all that type of stuff. But I was like, I think he made the better move.
Like, are you talking about like the bunker section with the zombie barriers?
Yes, I know. I went into
I was planning on making that an expanded area in the map where you could just go into, but I decided not to.
Oh, like the basement of the depot?
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been cool. Would have been an idea.
I didn't want to spend too much time on this project though, because I was bored and I wanted to release something, and I was like, this will probably take me like a month, and it did. So yeah.
Well, that's a terrific mentality to have. I think there's something special about getting consistent like creation out, whether you're an artist or whether you have that creative need. Just making sure, like doing a drawing a day, even if it's not the greatest thing ever, man, you get a portfolio in a year or two and you have something incredible to be proud of. And just getting this Bus Depot map out, just saying, just get it out. Get it out. I'm not going to worry about this. I'm having this current issue with the artist. We're working on the Resident Evil poster. I think we just keep going through way too many revisions. I think we just got to sit and be like, all right, this is design. We're good. This is design. Move forward, get it out, and move on. Because you get stuck in those little ruts. I loved how you implemented the design and gameplay with the Avogadro. The guns sound really good. Did you do anything different with that, or am I just not used to gun design because of previous Call of Duties?
Guns, AI, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's stuff that is their like assets publicly released to the public on this website called ModMe that any of the mappers or really anyone can use, and they can just put it in their map as long as they credit the people who made it. So the guy that made the guns, or he ported all the guns, was the Skylord. They were BO4 and Modern Warfare weapons. So he did all that.
Gotcha.
So credit to him.
Yeah.
I did like the variety of weapons in this map, where they all felt like weapons I hadn't thought about.
Yeah, I just started to go with like a modern feel with a little bit of BO4. I thought it worked well. A lot of people said it was kind of a weird mix, but like I liked it.
Yeah.
My thing is, I don't mind mixes. Like, and I appreciate when I get weapons that I've either never seen in zombies or weapons I haven't touched in years from like a different Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like when I'm playing a custom map and it's the same old maps or the same old like guns. Like just your standard Black Ops 3 guns.
You don't want just random standard Black Ops 3 guns. Everyone's sick of that.
When I get something I haven't even ever used before in zombies, like I make it a point then to go use it and pack a punch it.
Yeah.
So I liked it. I had a question about the little denizen that's out in the back of the depot, because I saw him. He kind of made me jump at first. I'm like, oh fuck, there's gonna be a denizen. No. Is there anything to that, or is he just there chilling?
You didn't do the denizen Easter egg, you little bitch.
Oh no, I guess I didn't. What's the denizen Easter egg then?
So yeah, I'll just tell you. So there's like 5 or 6 denizens all around the map, and you shoot them all, and you get a max ammo reward, and there's a little pop up on the screen that says, "Hey, you killed all those little shitheads. Good job."
Yep.
I think I only saw the one.
Yep. I was immediately looking at them. Yeah. There's one behind the bus, one inside Bus Depot in the break in the ceiling, one's on a ridge, one's on top of a telephone pole by Stamming Up. One is on top of the transit bus. And
yep.
I see you right now trying to add the fuses.
There's one on the water tower as well. Oh, well, wait, there was. Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Because those are the 6. Oh, you should. I struggle with this Easter egg. It's great. I'm glad. This is excellent gameplay for me to be like trying to get the Easter egg working. And though I had a lot of confidence in this Easter egg, though, because like when I read it isn't broken on your Steam page, and every time I tried to do something, it immediately worked if I was doing the right step. Never did I find like. The only glitch I found is if you stand, and I think you'll see it in the gameplay, if you stand right next to the front of Bus Depot to the door you buy to go outside, not the one you would go through past the buildable bench, but the one next to Quick Revive, and you go immediately right, and you go against the wall, the whole map disappears, and you can see everything.
Yeah, that's a problem I forgot to fix when I deleted the map. It's called Umbra, so like, yeah, so. I don't really know how to explain it. It goes into extreme detail, but basically it was a problem that I could have fixed, but I didn't realize it was a problem until after I deleted the map.
Well,
so it's just there.
Yeah,
so
there you go. Yeah, people get to live with it. Yeah, because everything else runs so smoothly in this map. It looks great, and I am pleasantly surprised by how well the Easter egg worked and the little things inside game. Like shooting those denizens was driving me nuts, and then I saw someone be like, "Just press the button next to power, then you can shoot them all." I'm like, it's even glowing. The button was even glowing. Kills me. So it's those little...
See, I never figured out what the button did. I didn't realize that was the
that was it.
Because once I hit the button, then I started looking around for more buttons, and I couldn't find any more.
Press the button and you hear the...
Yeah, that's what I liked. You had the intro, the menu music for Call of Duty Black Ops 4 as a music Easter egg for those 3 radios. That was fun to listen to. I like that. That was another great addition to this map.
I was watching Noah play it, and when he did that Easter egg, he's like, "Oh no, this reminds me of BO4." I was like, "Oh, come on, man, that song's good."
Yeah. No, I think the song was wasted on BO4. It hurts.
Yeah, I think it was great.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see it in a new context and new setting, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. There's another point I wanted to make about your wonderful map.
I wanted to mention,
come back up. Go ahead.
So it took you a month. It only took you about a month to make this map, you said?
Yep.
I find that funny too, because like last time when we had God, why can't I think of his name? Help me out, Reed. Kowloon. Why can't Andy?
Yes.
Guns of Truth.
Guns of Truth.
Yeah, when we had Gun of Truth on the show last time, and it was just funny, like the saga for him to release Kowloon, how it was like a multi-year process. And they're just like, I threw this map together in a month.
Yep.
And obviously there's circumstances that lead to that, but I find the contrast.
I haven't played Kowloon because I don't. Well, actually, I do own BO1. I own it now, but I haven't had the chance to play it. So I mean, I don't know really anything about that map. But didn't he like redesign the whole idea of it?
He built that map from the ground up, I think, like multiple times.
So I can understand how that took him so long.
There was a hard drive failure at one point that he lost almost like everything. So it was a multi-year process, and not because it took him that long to make the map, but because of just a series of unfortunate circumstances that led to that.
Yeah.
So I found the contrast kind of funny.
I love it. I mean, that's totally juxtaposed the situations of modders and custom mappers. Some guys like, just gonna make it, gonna have fun, and other people just breaking like Leviathan will be made, because I know that was another map that was just brutal, and all these people working together for hours and hours and hours. And nope.
But so, like, in the month of you making this map, what would you say was the hardest or trickiest part in like creating it?
I would say that it was probably designing the garage. Because, originally when you, because I just had to, basically like copy everything else and, give it my own spin.
Yep.
Give it my own, feel to it. But when, in the OG version of Bus Depot, like you can't go in there, Right. And when you no clip in there, there's just nothing, you know? Yeah. And so I had to like think of my own, my own idea for that. So, and I really wasn't gonna know how I was gonna fit the entire teleporter in there. So and it is too big. Like if you no clip on top of the garage, it's actually like I built a platform at the top, so like if that platform wasn't there, you would see the teleporter like antennas like sticking out. It's way too big for the room, so I had to like do that.
Well, you know what, to your point,
that was the hardest part.
I noticed that immediately, though. If that's your hardest part, as soon as I exited Bus Depot, I was like, that's different. I can get into that. Like, immediately, I saw you put the generator. Was that a World War II asset, by the way, too? Like that
at the top?
No. We put the fuses in. We put the fuses in.
Oh, that.
It reminded me of World War II zombies from the Darkest Shore.
I was wondering where that was from.
I'd have to go back and look at it in the mod tools. I'm not sure. I think it is.
It's no big
Everyone uses it though, and they have a fuse in their map. I don't know if you've noticed if you play all these custom maps, whenever there's a fuse, that fuse box.
That's the one. There we are then.
Yep.
So I'd be curious.
I always find it funny though how like custom maps have like various tropes. Like the big one is like so if everybody's reusing those fuel boxes, another thing everybody reuses are soul boxes.
Yeah.
So there was a moment where I'm having a hard time figuring out how to power up these generators, and then I'm like, I've got it. It's a soul box, and then it wasn't.
I can happily say there's not a single soul box on my map.
I'm just like I feel like the custom maps have such soul box fatigue that I'm like,
God,
this is it. It's a soul box. No.
Nope.
Now you reminded me with the boxes. I was struggling at first because I didn't find the hammer immediately. I didn't open that section of the map where the power was for quite a while, or investigate it because the Avogadro spawned, and I was just trying to stay away from him for a while. That was something that I was worried about to make the game more buggy, trying to get the Avogadro just right to hit the box just right to open it. That's something that I'm almost more glad that didn't get implemented. Yeah, I was hoping he would try and shoot those boxes open. I'm like, God, I wouldn't want that, or even supercharging the other aspects. If you could do both, that would be cool. But it's just like one of those things where it's like, kill me. That's classic Treyarch stuff. It's like, please just work. Just do your shield attack. Do your shield attack in Ancient Evil. And it's just...
That's my goal with making maps when I do the Easter eggs. Just make it as simple and as logical as possible, and to try and not make it annoying, like a Blood of the Dead Easter egg or a Gorod Crovy Easter egg or something like that.
You make me very happy. Me as a player, my type of player instincts, so happy. I know others like the other way, so fair enough to them, but God, I fucking love logical Easter eggs and steps.
My thought with like custom map Easter eggs is with a Treyarch map, because it's Treyarch, we're kind of more invested and we're willing to dig through a 48-hour Easter egg. But with custom maps, I'm probably only going to play it once, twice, maybe 3 times at most. So I think custom map Easter egg should be solvable within one playthrough, and it shouldn't require like a lot of intense critical thinking.
I agree.
I'm all for clever and creative, and I think like clever would be like having an Avogadro shoot open the box, or even like having like your teleporter take you like the town, like little stuff like that are all super clever. Love that. But don't like make me start like breaking out ciphers.
Yes.
I would never do that. I hope. I don't know if has anyone done that yet.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
I hope not.
I remember there was a custom map that was released that people were all like, "This is the big PC custom map Easter egg hunt." So it was cool to see the custom zombie community getting excited about a custom map release and having their own little Easter egg hunt and people trying to figure it out as soon as possible. That's cool and shouldn't be discouraged or facilitated, but or shouldn't be discouraged or have people not join in the fun. But I very much can't stand trying to solve a 30,000 hour custom zombie map PC when I just want to showcase things. The other thing is not allowing me to do no clip. That drives me up a wall with PC mappers. BO3 is nice because there's tools that just allow me to go into a enable cheat mode and then jump into a map. But World at War was one of those things that just drove me up a wall. It's like, I want to showcase your map. I want to show all the cool things about your cool map, all these hours you put into it, all the features you put in, and you won't let me no clip or God mode. Why?
I know how you feel, dude. Like on Clinic of Evil on World at War, have you played that? It's like Mob of the Dead 2.0.
Yep.
I wanted to no clip through that so bad, but you can't because he blocked it.
Why? It's like, I don't want anyone cheating my map. It's like, you don't want anyone playing your map. That's what I heard. God,
it's so good.
Oh, but yeah.
Wait, did I just see you swap out your Wonder? Oh no, you had Mule Kick.
I had Mule Kick. Yes.
I'm watching your gameplay. I'm like, did that man really just give up his Wonderwaffe for
no.
T36?
To bring that up gameplay-wise, I was really thrilled to play with the Wonderwaffe, upgrade it for a while again, too. And my gameplay, you see me panicking, being like, there must be more Easter eggs. There must be more. I can't be missing what he's hidden in town. But then after looking up a few guides online, I was like, oh, thank God. There's only 2 things. Was there only 2 Easter eggs? You know, getting to pack and then the denizens?
Yeah, there was, town, the denizens, the main quest, and the room that you teleport to, which looks like Kino.
What's the main quest?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call it a main quest. You know, it's just basically getting to pack a punch.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a mini.
Yeah, I think that's plenty to add to Bus Depot, which had nothing. I like it fits it very well. I didn't want this long, ridiculous Easter egg hunt, but I do have to tell you, I was very much feeling multiple times this was a remastered, upgraded version of BO2 to BO3's engine that played with BO4 weapons in Modern Warfare weapons. It felt great. And, you know, to be fair, building it from the ground up caused Kowloon to take so long. And this, you did have the luxury, even though it was the most tedious and frustrating process, of being able to see one-to-one what Treyarch already made. And like you said, one of the hardest parts was creating from scratch that teleporter pad. So there is that little bit of context that I think chat would need when they're just like, have him make everything. It's like he still had a blueprint, which was nice, and that's why your other map right now is taking you much longer because you're going from scratch, right? So these are very difficult things, and I do want to celebrate and prop you up for making such an excellent map, but we also don't need to tear Treyarch down to be like, look at this guy can make a map in a month. What's Treyarch
He built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Tony Stark. I love that. Oh my god, I hear that all the time. Oh god, that is. What is it? There's something I've heard. There's some sort of thing. Oh, I'm showcasing the glitch on the map right now. But there's something in real life that I always hear that is completely unrelated. But as soon as someone says it, I hear the guy being like, "Tony Stark built this in a cave." That's if it comes to me, I'll let you know on the show. But you got me. I'm in this nostalgia trigger right now. Regardless, yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about more about Bus Depot, or even hint towards your next project, Alex?
Can I talk about how like Treyarch has like influenced me so much?
Absolutely. Sure, I would love to hear about this.
They have a big part in like how I make my maps. So like without a doubt, like when I'm mapping, they have a big influence on me. So like with my new map right now, North Wales Sanatorium, I'll get bored of it a lot because, like, you know, I have to constantly think of new ideas to do and design choices. So when I start to lose motivation, because I've hit a brick wall with a certain aspect of the map, or I've just gotten bored of making it, I'll get the urge to just play one of Treyarch's maps, like Blood of the Dead, for example. That's even though I hate the Easter egg, it's one of my favorite Treyarch maps, believe it or not.
Sure, I can easily believe that.
I'll just sit and play it and have a look around and see what they do and try and draw inspiration from it. And in terms of level design and detail and how they perfect their environments and their maps so well. I mean, I'll even notice imperfections of their maps, and it sort of like brings a sense of relief to me when I see Treyarch make a mistake like that, because it lets me know that I have the ability to like see flaws and like find ways to counter them and maybe even do it better than Treyarch. You know,
having made like a few custom maps now under your belt, when you go into like a Treyarch map, are you analyzing how they've like created their map, how they've laid things out, where they're getting clever, how they're hiding things? Do you ever find yourself doing that?
All the time. That's all I do when I play a Treyarch map now. Like with BO4, when I play their maps, like they don't use any geo. Like everything is models.
Interesting.
Everything.
Interesting.
Yeah. And BO3, there's a lot of geo like that they use. Like they actually make it in the level editor, but as in for BO4, they make it all in a modeling software now and then just bring it into the level editor and just drag and drop.
You think that's what Jason was talking about on the back end? Remember when he said Zet, we were changing things up for the future of the engine? Yeah, maybe
most
that's
likely,
it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
I always find this interesting, like, or this process interesting, where like once you know how something's made, you like look at others' work and kind of learn from it. Like, like for a long time, I wanted to get into film, and I thought I wanted to be a director for like several years. So I know like a lot of like the tricks and stuff of making movies, and I've watched so much stuff on it. So like for example, I was watching like 1917, and I quickly realized, I didn't know this going into the movie, but I noticed it almost immediately that it was a one-take movie. And every time they like, so the whole movie, I'm no longer watching the movie for the movie, but I'm watching the movie from like the perspective of like cinematography, and I'm like trying to find where they're hiding.
Yep, the invisible cuts. I do the same thing.
When the scene suddenly like they're walking into a bunker and it gets a little dark, I'm like, there's a cut.
Yep.
And suddenly I'm watching the movie not from the perspective of just a film goer, but from somebody who just appreciates the craft. And I imagine that's what it's like when you're playing a Treyarch map.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. I think we all do that now at this point. Did you have any more? I cut you off there. I just want to add that little note because that's been bothering me, wondering what that big change was to Jason on the back end. But I feel like I cut you off early there. Do you have more you want to say?
Let's see. No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's pretty much the point I wanted to make. Yeah.
Well, I feel that though.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to bring up with this map is it kind of, I feel like, gives us an insight into what could have been with Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
For the longest time, we talk about getting the Black Ops 2 remasters, seeing the Transit Cruise maps, Die Rise, Transit, all that stuff. And we never end up getting it. And part of those assets were brought into Black Ops 4 in the version of like Blackout, but we never saw them in Zombies maps. And one of the things that really drew me into this map, and part of why I wanted to talk about it in the show, was an idea of like what could have been in Black Ops 4.
Right.
Like, like imagine if we actually got like the Transit DLC set, and in it was our 3 original maps and then those survival maps reimagined.
Dude, I would love to see Transit, the entirety of Transit in BO4, just so I can compare it to what I did. I just want to see like how they would do it and compare it to like how I did it. I would love to see that.
I bet there's so much to learn from that, to see like what Treyarch would do versus what you would and versus what you did. Yeah. And then from there you can become a better mapper through that.
Yep.
It'd be interesting to see. Hopefully, like my theory right now that I hang on to, and I have no reason to believe this other than just speculation, is that with Black Ops 5, they'll end up releasing some of like these Treyarch or these Transit remasters and stuff like that. Maybe as a pre-order bonus, hopefully.
Yeah, I think that would be such a big win and such an easy move for Treyarch. Yeah, like if it's already made, because it should be.
Well, the rumor is that I guess it got cut, and maybe because like they ended up working on this next Call of Duty that they had to just say, okay, we're gonna put that on the back burner, but we already have it like 70% done, so we'll make it the pre-order bonus in Black Ops 5.
Yeah,
that's just my speculation based off of various rumors. I have no reason to believe that.
I agree. I think that's the most logical.
It'd be really cool to see this map re-released in the whatever the Black Ops 5 engine is like, and then see how it compares.
Oh man, with that new engine they got from Modern Warfare, Zombies is gonna look so good.
I hope so. I certainly hope so.
To me, feels like a glimpse into the future, or is like a glimpse into an alternate reality we never got, where these maps were like remastered.
Yeah, that's fair. That's super fair. I was definitely getting that feeling. I want to circle back to a little bit to your point about how Treyarch influences you. Even when I do little, very basic, for just my friends, game design for D&D, when you're building up fights and encounters and all that type of stuff, or you want to have a dungeon for them, I take so much inspiration from what Treyarch, how they've built up their Easter egg quests. I am so amazed at how a majority of the quests, especially back in time, maybe not so much some of the latest things, like we said, Blood of the Dead is a bit exhausting, but even little bits you can take, like one step that you really love out of Blood of the Dead, and you start mixing things around. They have done such an amazing job captivating us in our imagination that influences, I think, many who have played their games in any of their creative endeavors or artistry that they get involved with. I love how Treyarch has impacted me in my creation process, and just simple things like that. I mean, my buddies, when we do it, some of my friends have never ever played Call of Duty Zombies, so they have no idea what's happening. While one of my best friends in the world is part of my D&D group, Ryan, he goes, seems like we're playing a little bit of Shangri-La Origins right there, Reed, huh? A little bit of those, huh? I'm just like, oh, you guys, shut up. Don't let them know. All right? And D&D is like rewarded when you constantly take those things from other, the best fandoms, because it's all about having a fun time playing a board game, basically. Right. And I think it gives more credit to how excellent Treyarch has been in the past at creating Easter egg quests as a whole, not map to map, because I got issues with how they implement some of their Easter eggs over time in their quests. Yep. But I definitely have a strong foundation, because when I start thinking about game design and how to make players have fun and interact, a lot of my thoughts do come back to these Easter egg quests that I've had some of the most fun ever playing, and that's just a testament to how much love has been put into these games by Treyarch. And I feel for them of how difficult it is to keep making new Easter eggs. How you got to have another 14 steps, right? Even though we know that's not necessary, but on Treyarch's end, it seems like the Easter egg quests have to keep getting longer, and they have to keep getting more complicated. Right. And that has got us so far away from some of the more fun steps we've done in the past in humble beginnings. I mean, 9 had some steps that were just super darn fun. Just the fighting and how it felt like the boss fight, and then like standing at the pedestal with all the special bosses coming at. But then in the same Easter egg, you're getting poop. You're gathering poop, and you're like, what are we doing?
What are we doing? It's Call of Duty Zombies?
Yeah, what is this?
Well, think about this for a moment. How many? I just googled it. Like how many Zombies maps there have been, and I think the number 40. That came up is like 35. I don't know if that includes
for
remakes.
I think it's over 40 with remakes and.
I just did a quick how many zombie maps are there?
Yeah. I know it's over 40 if you include Infinite Warfare, World War II zombies, Treyarch zombies.
Let's just put that number at an even 40 because I don't actually know what it is.
Sure.
And then if you imagine each one of those maps has its own Easter egg, as well as its own side Easter egg. So let's say you need to come up with like 15 to 20 steps per map between all the little different Easter eggs, you know? Yeah. Over the course of an entire career of zombies maps, you've now come up with 800 individual steps.
Jesus.
Like the amount of creative effort to come up with 800 steps, and you can only reuse a step so many times before people are like, all right, I've seen this, you know, like, all right, this is my 50th custom map in a row with a soul box.
Yeah.
You know, like the creative effort to be 40 maps in and still need to come up with like 15 unique steps. It's so difficult.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like, you know, when I'm making YouTube videos and I'm on like my 1200th video, you know, coming up with a new topic isn't always easy. I imagine a Treyarch, it's the same kind of like wall.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
like after remaking those two maps, I have so much more respect for Treyarch now that I've experienced that. I mean, to be honest, they probably have it a lot more easy because they've got way more tools, way more plugins than we do. All we have is the level editor and the asset editor.
Certainly.
Yeah, and they have a whole team.
But depending on the time of the year, actually, to be fair, depending on the time of the year, maybe the team is comparable to you.
Maybe, yeah, like with Tag, where they had like 12 people work on it. Yeah. So I it's humbling. I don't know.
Yeah. But it also, I don't want to let them off the hook either for bullshit steps, though. There's still the balance. It's like, I get you, and it's really tough to make new stuff, but make sure it's fun. God damn it, just make it fun.
That seems to be a part that they miss a lot.
Yeah. Where it's, All right, so let's talk about a couple other topics before we wrap up the podcast for today. A couple things came out today. I got a DM at about midnight last night from Juan, my wondrous mod, being like, don't know if you care, but the Apothicon language was solved yesterday. And I'm like, what? I didn't even know that was still going. So I'm going to throw this up on screen a little bit and throw the explanation into chat for people who want to read up all about it. But I just want to acknowledge it at the very least. We don't have to dive into it too deeply, but just be like, damn, that's awesome. They finally finished it. Milo's website was missing a couple things, and people were looking on Jason's shirt, and it's all crumpled to try and get the last meanings of everything. But now we have the entire Apothicon language, which this almost runs right into our conversation about Treyarch caring so much about Call of Duty Zombies that they had designers make an entire language, basically a cuneiform, a symbol language for their game. Who knows what Easter eggs now can be found that we have the entirety of the Easter egg completely solved. There's probably a lot of really cool, neat little things. And that's a lot of work and effort from a multitude of people. I want to see if I can credit the name of this user, the Kaljitsu. Nice. And I'm looking for some of the other people I wanted to credit in here. But yeah, there you go. Good for them and everybody that's been working really, really hard on all this language and keeping up with it and keeping up with their passion for zombies. That's pretty dope.
This reminds me of like one of those memes where it's like nobody, absolutely nobody. Jason Blundell. I'm gonna go create a whole language for my game.
Yep. Yep.
It is. I haven't thought about like I'm on Milo's website right now.
Chronorium.
Chronorium.com, and I hadn't thought about like the language in a while, but yeah, they really went all out for Black Ops 3 in terms of like world building and lore to build their own little language out of glyphs. It's insane when you think about it. I kind of forgot that they did this.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a ton of little Easter eggs here and there that would end up getting big shout outs or getting a big
all I'm saying
traction.
Is I just can't wait for the YouTube videos to pop up saying 4 years, 5 years later.
Yep, here we go.
New Easter egg has been found.
Yep.
I didn't know we were missing parts of the Apothicon language. I thought we had the whole thing.
Yeah, so did I. I had no idea.
Didn't realize either.
Wow.
Do we hit? What about the keeper? Do we pretty much have keeper down?
I don't know. Isn't keeper Apothicon language, or is keeper separate from Apothicon?
No, they're two different languages.
Oh dear God.
Keeper though is a lot simpler.
That's nice.
Or actually, maybe I'm wrong because
I have no idea.
Top, keeper relies on several confusing rules, so we drastically simplified the translation process for you.
Okay.
I think I don't know actually how it works at all, but I'm just on Milo's website for it.
Gotcha.
Just fiddling around.
Well, it is Milo. He probably hasn't updated that in a while, but you never know. It might have been
I'm
the
sure
time.
the website's not up to date with our latest like keeper findings, but like that was just the easiest place to remind myself of how it worked.
Okay. Moving on, there were two, I'm not sure, they were newly found 9 Easter eggs, but I feel like they've been accidentally found many, many times. But if you took the homunculus, threw it into the crowd, it actually causes the wave Easter egg to trigger. That was rumored by the Call of Duty Nobody Cares disgruntled QA tester that said they cut that. It was supposed to be a Easter egg in RAW somewhere in there. It just got repurposed, so you can actually see the stadium do the wave if you throw a homunculus into the crowd, and a music Easter egg triggers if you stay fighting on the podium for 5 rounds in a row. So those were 2 new things that ended up getting the community a little excited as more Easter eggs are slowly trickling out. Last week we had the roses on Richthofen's grave, and what was the other Easter egg? Do you remember, John? We talked about last week.
It was the
Frozen, the Frozen one on Tag.
Frozen Dawn, little like mode.
Yeah,
whatever it's called. Ice something.
Don't freeze.
Yeah, don't freeze. Don't freeze.
Is that what it was called? Okay.
Yeah.
But
I find it hard to believe that the podium Easter egg where you sit there for 5 rounds. I find it hard to believe no one did that.
No one.
No one tried that.
They definitely did.
Here's why I'm actually not surprised nobody found it. Purely just because 5 rounds on the podium is a long time.
It's fair.
True, yeah.
Like it seems like one of those Easter eggs that is super obvious, but like, who the hell is saying to myself, yeah, there's a trigger, I bet, if I'm on this podium for a long time. And then it's like, well, how long? I've been on here for 4 rounds now. I think I'll give up. You know, little do they know they're 1 round short.
Yeah. I gotta.
I'm not surprised. The homunculus one, I am though.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see the wave, as everybody always wanted to see stuff like that. I mean, I don't even remember how to do the Easter egg with the they get the zombies that tap. I know they do it during special rounds, but there's a way to get another one of the special music songs going. It was a very complicated Easter egg from at least the first time I heard it. Maybe it's not at all. But you know those zombies that you see in the music trailer that are banging on the drums up toward the centerpiece inside 9? There's a way to trigger that in-game to get another, I think, Avenged Sevenfold song playing during it, and you have to go through a whole bunch of steps. And to me, that's part of the whole, like, I'm glazing over. I don't even know, like, where do we start with this? Where do we begin with this?
Mm-hmm.
So
this podium Easter egg though, if you wanted to like get off to like grab ammunition, you can't do that, right? You have to stay on.
I believe so.
Because that might make it tricky enough. Just having enough ammunition for 5 rounds.
I believe the video I saw with Queen, all she did was immediately go in there, pop her perkaholic, and then she used the ethereal razor and just started knifing with the zombies for 5 rounds because it stays for that long, and that's how she was able to do it.
Yeah, like that. I actually could totally see this because, like, unless you're making a concentrated effort, I just don't realistically see somebody doing that.
Fair enough.
Accidentally, you know.
2 things I want to point out in chat. One, a little quicker, is to think Easter eggs are still being undiscovered in previous old maps. Mind blowing. I don't think so. It's so big and so much stuff gets thrown at us, especially in BO4, where they threw so much at us. I feel like plenty was going to go undiscovered in those maps because we just had such an overload of Easter eggs and content and people trying to figure out what the next big thing was, that little things like this, like John was pointing out, could go under the radar. And another thing, this is more for Alex, could you put a World War II boss into a BO3 custom map? I think that's an interesting little tidbit just to get in. Is that easy enough to do?
Yeah, people have done it on the Alien Invasion custom map that released by Filthy Sandwich. He put he put the whistling in his map.
Oh, dope.
Like, and it's like 10 times the size as it was in the final rank.
Oh,
so
super
it's
dope.
Like a giant whistling.
so Rizzo has like a chub right now. Has he played this
Pretty
map?
much.
I imagine Rizzo must be.
You're
so
missing out,
excited.
Rizzo.
I've seen him doing renders again for World War II zombies, and that's pretty dope.
Oh, his renders are so dope.
Oh, they're great. Cameron even loves them. It's great. I love seeing them on Twitter still gushing over the game. There's a lot I still really, really like about World War II zombies. And yeah, maybe I'll make some videos every now and then. Regardless, that's passing thought. Topic time. Let's get into topic time.
The greatest time of the show. Absolutely didn't forget this week.
Yeah, I definitely saw you get pinged. But I did see the rest of the people. It was linked to me in the post who did solve the language. You do have Eric Maynard, Ben Shapiro, and myself, which would be the Cal Jitsu. So those are the three that solved the language. I couldn't find it in the post.
So by myself, not you.
Yes. So go ahead. What do you got?
All right. First one. Power outage says favorite perk jingle. Quick revive jingle.
Oh, I love PhD.
Little revive. Like, to me, that's just iconic perk jingle.
But you gotta slap your body to the ground for that PhD loving. Come on.
I don't know. Or maybe also double tap.
That's a good one.
I like double tap. Yeah. Double tap's probably my favorite.
Like reach for the root beer. I don't like. It's the way the perk jingles live in my mind. It's just like it's little just individual moments like stick out in my head.
Yeah.
Like Speed Cola. Like I can think of it. Double tap, Juggernog. It's all there. I think quick revive that to me. Like,
dude, you just sent me to Shino Numa. I could literally hear the ambient of Shino Numa with Speed Cola and like hitting into the machine where you hear like the jingle all the way around and Speed Cola speeds. Just
yeah.
There's totally those memories. You're absolutely right.
No, it's been like burned into my brain, and it's the way you can hear it in your head.
Oh my god,
somebody is just playing it, but it's not the whole song. It's literally just one line.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's how these exist in my brain.
Reach for Jug. Well, I love the Shadows of Evil remake of Juggernog. Reach for Juggernog.
Oh, those are great.
Those were awesome. Every one of those like noir 1940s, 1950s swing that they added to all the perk jingles, amazing, just terrific.
All right, next one. Orange Man From says the Farm, Town, and Bus Depot remakes have been quite great. They're maps I wish I played with an IRL friend play when they came over, since they had that familiar feel, but with PC split screen. Wait, what's the Farm? The Farm? Yeah, I know. I don't think you did. You did.
No, I only made a Bus Depot in Town, but someone else made another Town too, which is like a 1-to-1 remaster of it, and some guy named Clicks made Farm Remastered.
I don't know.
Okay. He did that.
How close is your modding community? You seem to know everybody and the name of the maps and the people. I'm very unfamiliar.
We are very close.
Oh, that's terrific.
Yeah. I'd imagine like you only have so many people working on this stuff. Like,
yeah.
And
there's a lot of people doing stuff, but like a lot of them don't talk. Especially like some really, really talented people like don't say a word, and it's just like, man, come on, there's a whole community here.
But there's also a lot of I feel like there's a lot of sharing going around between the community as well.
Oh yeah.
Like I'll see a map come out and like the credits list is like 20 names long.
Yeah. Well,
so I feel like
there's a lot of people doing a lot of stuff.
So next one says Flip Slip Me Dick says which game do you wish had a sequel? I'm just reading the names. Which game do you wish had a sequel?
What do you mean? Just
like,
in general?
The question. What games do you wish had a sequel?
Oh God, Last of Us. So I'm getting that dream soon.
We're getting that.
Yeah. Any of you have any games that you wish got sequels?
I can't think of any games. I could think of movies, but
yeah,
not games.
Well, shoot a movie. Go ahead, throw it out there. What movie came to your mind? Oh, already? Jeez, you're in.
Yes,
wow.
dude. I love that movie.
Damn, that's quick.
Joaquin, man, I need to see him do his magic again. Like,
that's great.
God.
Yeah,
I think they are in talks to make a second Joker. But from what I understood, the director said like the story needs to be there.
Yeah, and you also got to be also got to understand. Not you personally. I don't like that. I'm starting that sentence. Somebody's starting that sentence. Birds of Prey bombed, and it's the worst-selling DC like hero movie in history so far. I read that headline, and I heard it was a fine movie too. It wasn't there at the box office. Somehow Suicide Squad killed it, and Birds of Prey absolutely bombed. Can you double check me on that? Because I only read a headline, so I was
33 million worst DC debut in a decade.
That's what I thought.
I was surprised though, because it seemed like Harley Quinn was like iconic enough of a character to lead a movie.
3 years ago is the problem. Like she was so hot years ago, and they didn't release the movie at the right time.
Yeah.
Like everyone's so over it.
Also, it doesn't help that I don't understand what DC is doing anymore.
Yeah.
So I kind of don't care.
Yeah.
Like I completely I completely zoned out of the DCEU after Suicide Squad, or was it Batman Super? Whichever one came after.
Justice League, probably.
No, I didn't see Justice League, and I haven't seen Wonder Woman. I stopped watching the DCEU after they had like 2 or 3 flops in a row.
Gotcha.
So that's why I really had no intention of seeing Birds of Prey, because I didn't like Suicide Squad very much.
Mm.
And I also just don't understand what they're doing, because some movies are in universe, others aren't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think they're doing a new Batman, but this Batman isn't in that universe.
Yeah, it is super confusing.
Because Ben Affleck's out, and Joker obviously isn't in the universe.
Exactly
so
what I was going to bring up.
I don't understand DC anymore, what they're doing. So as a just a whole franchise, it's too confusing for me.
I feel that.
So I'm not surprised that Birds of Prey isn't doing that well, but I thought it would have.
I saw that bombing. The first thing, I was in theaters, I saw it. I'm like, boy, whoever edited that trailer was absolute garbage. I thought the trailer was not edited very well for the movie. And then my dad turned to me. He's like, I will never see that. I'm not even going to pick that up for $1. That looks so boring. And my dad's a guy that loves Wonder Woman. It's one of his favorite movies ever. Captain Marvel's another one of his favorite movies ever. He loves big explosions. He loves Hollywood schlock. My dad loves that stuff. I mean, he started watching Game of Thrones over, and he started being like, hey, Reed, season 8 wasn't so bad. I'm like, stop it, Dad. Stop it. Don't you dare. He's like, you're just bitter. I mean, there's some cool dragon fights. I'm like, stop it, Dad. Stop.
You know what I think does hurt the movie? I'm reading an article on, or just scanning over an article on Forbes of like reasons why Birds of Prey failed to take flight.
Sure.
And they mentioned they should have titled it Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey rather than just Birds of Prey.
That's fair.
Like, yeah, why do you not put your title character, who's like pretty iconic, in the name of the movie? That just seems like such a no-brainer.
That's fair.
Like they don't call I don't know what they don't call it, like they don't call Spider-Man Far From Home. They call it Spider-Man Far From Home.
Right.
That just seems so dumb.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
Back to topic time.
Yeah.
Ultimate Noob 23 says, if you put a slinky on an elevator, will it go on forever?
Escalator?
Yeah, escalator. Did I say elevator?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, eventually those shut down.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't actually know. Cheese Puff also says, did Yins like Rise of Skywalker? I don't want to talk about Rise of Skywalker. It makes me mad now.
I have a film in focus. I have a reaction, and I'd say since then it does take away a lot of the original trilogy, and that's what it kept annoying me about episodes 8 and 9. Is it just kept taking away from, like, that thing you really liked? Doesn't matter anymore. It's dumb. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you have an opinion on Rise of Skywalker, Alex?
I haven't seen it, so
probably better that way.
Yeah,
I've heard some things about it.
Though
it's not a bad movie, but as a Star Wars fan, it just irks me to no end.
Dude, when I saw Noah on Twitter be like greatest movie of all time, when they were all doing it afterwards, I saw all these people. I had uninstalled Twitter for about a week and a half on my phone again, because I'm like, I can't look at this when they're like Last Jedi, greatest movie ever. I'm just like, what? All right, enough. That's it. That's all I want to say. Please, what's the next topic?
Magna Collider 15 says, hey, John and Reed, sir. Hope you guys are doing well.
Hey.
Welcome, Alex, to the show. And I was wondering, what is his favorite map as well as what's his favorite map as well as map design from Treyarch modes?
Yes.
Anywhere from World at War to Black Ops 4. Did you like the most? So layouts, training areas, fluidity, travel, even Easter eggs.
Yes, please.
So
I know that's all over the place, but what I guess to sum it up, what throughout Treyarch's history do you find the most interesting as a map maker?
Can I like do it?
Yeah. What's your favorite
game?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
what's your favorite map, and like what's your favorite design in each game?
World at War, Shinonuma.
Okay.
I love Shinonuma. I love the 4 pathways you can go that they're dedicated to each perk. I love that. I thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I just love the vibe of Shinonuma. It's so creepy, and
Mm-hmm.
I love the foliage and everything. And for BO1, I'm gonna have to say Ascension, because like the layout for that map is just it's perfect. I don't know.
Dude,
It's just,
I love it.
Can we also give Ascension some praise for its atmosphere too?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
underrated
great.
part of it. Start off in black and white, then transition into full
Ugh.
color, and then just the feel and the aesthetic of the facility.
Just hearing it was the first, like, again, it was the first major quest Easter egg. That's why I like PhD so much, because we spent so much time by PhD listening for that noise where you throw the Gersh device to start the Easter egg. I spent so many hours there, and then we were trying to figure out all the Easter eggs past the Sparky Battery step. That the atmosphere in Ascension is locked in to one of my favorite.
I think
maps ever.
Ascension is one of those maps that really took advantage of sound design.
True, yeah.
Or really did it
really good,
as well as any map could at the time.
It was the first Easter egg song that I heard that I just fell in love with. Abracadabra.
Yeah. So continue,
awesome,
continue,
dude.
yeah.
And for Black Ops 2, gotta say Mob of the Dead, man. It's just,
I mean,
nothing beats that map.
It's pretty damn good. It's pretty
The
damn
vibes
good.
just nothing like it. And for BO3, I really like Revelations, believe it or not.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But honestly, I'm gonna have to say Gorod.
Interesting.
I love the dragons.
Yeah, Gorod, I think me and John talked about this before in a previous show. It's showing off, right? Gorod Krovi is just showing off how fucking good they are, despite, like, I don't like the Gundams and the dragons. This is where Zombies was like, you know, that funny gif there is online of that coach doing. That's what I absolutely feel happened at that point. But when you take a step back and just see how massive and epic it is, and maybe from a design standpoint, that is absolutely an achievement.
I love it, man.
And BO4, do you have one you like? I think you said Blood.
Yeah, Blood of the Dead. I don't really like any other map.
Fair enough.
I mean, I like the Chaos maps. I think they're all pretty unique. I don't know about Voyage, but
that's fair.
Yeah, I think if all the Chaos maps were in BO3, that would be some great maps. You know what?
I really wish we could get mods like that. I would love to see Ancient Evil inside BO3, just port it, a custom zombie map. I think that would be so much fun to see it not in that engine. I actually love Ancient Evil so much. I'm trying to speedrun it. I'm going to be doing every Thursday. I'm going to be learning and trying to speedrun the map. I'm actually considering putting out bounties to help me with skips to even make the speedruns even faster for Ancient Evil. That's a map, remember, John, you said it's too early to tell? Yeah. I'm still about a year later, and it's still one of my top 3 favorite maps of all time. I just love the setting, the atmosphere, the gameplay for the most part, but I do think the BO4 engine definitely holds it back from it being like one of my all-time favorite maps. It's just... God, the feel of BO3 is just not there for me. BO4. My apologies.
Well, remember when I was mentioning how Return to Bus Depot kind of feels like what we could have gotten in Black Ops 4, where it's like bringing back some of those old maps?
Yes.
Part of me is also grateful that we didn't have it in Black Ops 4, so that it's not in the Black Ops 4 engine.
Completely agree.
And I think it helps with Black Ops 3.
I agree.
Doing it in Black Ops 3 is, you know, you get the simplicity of Black Ops 3, you know, the classic perk systems, classic pack, you know, all that. It's all there. So next question, Caboose says, hey, hello there. Where do you guys think the Chaos storyline, and what other kind of maps and mythology would you like them to look into? Probably not Atlantis anymore, I'm guessing.
Oh, man, I would love that.
And it's super nice. Thanks to everyone, and stay awesome.
How?
Got his little perk cup. Hell yeah.
Dare you? Atlantis is absolutely coming. How dare you? That's going to be Treyarch's apology to the community, releasing Atlantis after BO4 bombed.
The apology to you.
Directly to me. They don't owe me shit. All right, fuck that. I just know if they release an Atlantis map, that's it. That's it. Everyone's going to be like, all's forgiven. Oh my God, what if that's their launch map? That would, because that's the one, you know, they put in the most time and effort to, is the launch maps. That would.
That would make me very happy.
I would have to check on you, Reed.
You would have to check on me.
I feel like I would take a drive up to New York just to make sure you're okay.
Hey, Reed, are you okay? John, I have a whole new career ahead of me. Just this map. That's all it is. I'm just gonna keep playing this map until I drop dead. That would be so exciting. I really hope for Atlantis map. I mean, it's been 10 years of me saying this shit, so they got to come through at some point. I mean, it's just an inevitability. But I like any of the lore. They can play into so much lore, which is what I like. They basically made it that you can skip to any different universe in the chaos time of like dealing with, Odin, Ra. It's the essence of God of War as well, where they have all these different universes. We're touching on Greek mythology, Nordic mythology, and so on and so forth. I'd love to see all that stuff implemented in a future game because we can go to these excellent places. We've talked about this in the past, like Pompeii, Roanoke, just these super wonderful places that Bermuda Triangle you can easily go to now. There's nothing holding you up. It's not like we have the Ether storyline or Group 935. Another 935 base has to be present. They can have a lot of fun with it. So I'm super optimistic, and I really do like the Chaos storyline. Thanks to Ancient Evil. I was not a fan because we didn't know who the hell the antagonist was, and now we finally got a good. Now we know what's going on.
Last question from AHL. So this question for you, Alex. In an alternate universe where you're leading Treyarch zombies, what would the season look like? What would your maps be?
Ooh, that's a
big one.
That's a big question.
Atlantis.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty much like already doing that with my new project.
Yeah.
Like Northwell Sanatorium, it's in the Ether storyline, and you're playing as Ultimus, and it takes place after Doriz. So instead of going to Kino, you go there.
Ooh.
Does Kino still exist in this like alternate zombies timeline that you've created? Is it like an in-between stop, or instead of like they never go to Kino, they go to the same?
They never go to Kino.
Oh, got him. I like it.
So think of that map. It's like Verruct on steroids, pretty much.
Gotcha.
It's an insane asylum.
Like
I've got a whole story planned for it, and it's basically my own timeline of the Ether storyline. I've always wanted to do it.
Awesome.
Well, when you're making
really
a map
cool.
like this, how much do you like to lean into like the story of it? Like, is it for you, or are you just happy to make the map, or do you like to make the map and have the lore go with it? Like, how much are you invested in the lore of it?
I don't want to lean too much into the story because it's a custom map. You know, like not many people are going to care that much.
Fair.
But I want to make it, at least somewhat interesting, and have all these cool things happen, and just have it, be simple, and just mainly I just want people to play it and have fun like they could back in BO1 and BO3, I guess.
Do you have any, not to rush you, but do you have any idea of when you think this map will be ready?
Oh, I mean, I've been making some progress on it lately, but Jesus, man, it's a big map. Like, it's huge, and I honestly have no idea when it's going to be out. But fair. I'm trying to get it done.
Yep, that's fair. I'd say I think there's definitely a market for custom zombie maps to be playing their own alternate timeline. Online and custom zombies and flushing it out, and you could have your own website and all that type of stuff to have fun with it. The only problem is it's definitely unpaid work. You can't be using those trademarks or those characters in a way that you could try and get like a Patreon page going to have your own like basically fan fiction. And I think there's a fine area that fan fiction can and should exist for the Call of Duty zombie storyline with the multiverses, that people can still relive their favorite stories with their favorite characters. But like you said, as a custom map, to put in all that time to try and make all these major story beats is so unnecessary to just getting the project out.
It's absolutely unnecessary, but I do kind of appreciate when a map has a little bit of a story going to it. Like, I think one of the cooler maps that has done this is like Das Herrenhaus has like a whole cutscene that has its story explained in it. And it's one of those things I'm never gonna like invest myself in this custom map story and start making theory videos on it.
Right.
But I like that little extra level of detail to a custom map that gives it just a little more depth. It's not a surface level.
Something I'm really, really excited about my map is, do you guys know who Voodoo Nick is?
I've heard the name. Absolutely heard the name.
He does these really great impersonations of Ultimus and Primus, and even Transit, or the Victus crew.
Okay.
And I got him to do quotes for my map. So I'm gonna have my own custom quotes for Ultimus, man.
Oh, that reminds me. Who are the characters in this map? See, you just reminded me. What are the custom character images? What is that about?
Oh, and
Bus Depot. Yeah. Who are they?
That's just the CIA, CDC characters.
You just keep faces.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
I was curious. I was like, hey, who the heck's that?
Yeah, just random CIA people.
All right.
Yeah. That was it for topic time questions.
Dope. Donation questions. I'm going to run through these. Delta asked, donating $5. Thank you so much, Delta. Oh, he's here too. Okay, and will you be working on Return to to Die Rise map so that me and John can have an ego boost.
Yeah, what's the ETA on Return to Die Rise? When's that coming out?
Die Rise is... I probably hate Die Rise more than I hate Transit.
Yes! Yes! Even though we did remake it.
I invite you onto my show, and this is how you treat me?
Beautiful.
I know Die Rise is like what? Your remaster Die Rise. Your favorite map.
My love, my life, my guiding star.
I think someone else is doing that, so I mean, you're gonna get it. So
disgust me.
I always get what I want. I'm gonna get it.
Grathos donates £2. Could you put it? I already got that. Never mind. Thank you. Got that one. Z-Mad Lobster donates $2. Hey, Reed and John, I hope you're both doing well. Question for Alex. Both Hunter AM13 in the chat and myself would love to know what got you into custom zombie mapping. That's an excellent question. What got you into it?
Oh, well, it was BO3. Like that that whole experience of BO3. Like it was like another BO1 season for me. Like BO1 was amazing, and BO3 was just even better. You know, like it just inspired me, and it made me think. Okay, I've always loved art. I love drawing. I love designing things, and I figured why not get into this. So I never thought I'd get this far, and here I am.
Hey, you've already got a very nice track record, so that is super wonderful. And I think there's something so special about BO3. People have talked about it as the golden age. Just that whole season and like the CG cutscenes, the emotion of each of the characters dying. Absolutely terrific. And that's awesome to hear. That's what got you into custom mapping. And I think we all look forward to what you have coming out next.
Thank you.
Mr. Drown donates once again every week. It's so good to see your wonderful face around here, Mr. Drown. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Hope your day is going well. I had this horrible nightmare where I missed 2 Zombro episodes back to back. Quite terrifying, if you ask me. You three stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good day. Thank you so much, Mr. Drown. And our very last donation, once again, David, saying, what custom maps would you like to see? And just wondering if there's ever a Zombros map in the future, and a 12-hour transit stream seems good time to ask. Also, strong Annie Wikes vibes in the chat today. Do you know what that reference was? Do you know who that is? Annie Wilkes. Okay. There, I didn't recognize it either, so I wasn't going to point it out. Zombros map someday, maybe. We'll get somebody to work on it.
I put that project on the back burner. I have more interesting projects right now.
Yes, that's fair. 12-hour transit stream someday, maybe for BO5 or whatever the next zombie game comes out. We'll do something fun. Definitely should make it a charity stream. And custom maps we'd like to see. I don't know. I think there's a lot to play with. I've always liked the idea of a deeper Therese and Area 51 type of deal map where you're going down deeper and deeper sections. But people have done a lot with that. So I'm just waiting for Atlantis. That's really the only map I'm waiting for from Treyarch. That's all I got left.
You know what?
That's all I'm
I want
out.
I want a cave. I want a map set in a cave system.
We've had a couple of those in custom maps, but nothing like crazy, I think.
I think there's potential there.
There is. Well, that's it. So thank you so much. Where can we find all you on your social medias, Alex? I do have your Twitter linked in the description down below, but is there anything else you want to shout out and have people go check out?
Yeah, so I post mainly on Twitter, which is at Mr. Xela, and the L is a capitalized I. So, just for anyone that gets confused about that. And you can also find me on YouTube at Xela.
That's a capitalized I.
Yeah. I couldn't do Mr. Xela, so
Didn't even notice that.
Yeah, and you can also find me on YouTube at Xela ZM. I know, bad branding over here, but that's where I stream and post all my update videos and what I'm working on, the mod tools and all that. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you so much for reaching out. It was absolutely terrific. A pleasure. I love talking about this map, and I can't wait to have you on when you release your very next map, or maybe when we play Return to Town or Town Remastered. Maybe we'll do something fun with that. Everyone, thank you so much for coming on to Zombros this week. We will probably be live again next week to discuss yet another custom zombie map. We'll announce that on Twitter. Thank you all so much for supporting the Patreon. We do have updates coming very soon. I still have Ether posters available if you want to buy them at radrendering.com if you're interested in something like that. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Zombros. John, do you have anything else before we sign off?
No, I think that's about it.
Absolutely terrific. So be safe till we see you
Thanks
next.
for watching the show.
And have a wonderful day. Bye now.